Well, hello, how's it going, everyone? We made it to above 20 degrees. Welcome to Chicago. We're going to do our little lunch walk here on Thursday. What is it? I don't even know what the day is. January 18th or something. Let's see, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Yeah, the 18th January 2024. The sun's trying to peep out. Like I said, I think the elevator said it was 24 degrees, which feels pretty balmy after a week of sub-zero, frigid temperature, wind chills, all that. We got a little dusting of snow this morning, just enough to barely sweep the sidewalks. And we walked in on TikTok. Now we're on YouTube. We'll head over to the Riverwalk. Yeah, I just want to walk along the Riverwalk. I saw there were some ice floes, and it's probably all melted. Brandon, yeah, it's getting warmer. How's it going? Yeah, we were just talking. That's good. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll do a nice little walk along the river. Yeah, thanks for dropping me a few lines there. That's good. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing how something's gonna give. You know, every year I keep, I pay attention to financial markets and housing and inflation and what the Federal Reserve's doing, and look at I didn't get rich off my investments, and I'm like, everybody else seemed to do it, but everything's more expensive. And we'll start greeting everybody here. Hey, the way I roll, LS Gender, be creative. How's it going? Yeah, Lisa, how you doing? Lunch Bunch, yeah, good morning. How you doing? LS Gender, thanks for tuning in there. And like I said here, we're above 20 degrees. The elevator said 24. Alvin, how you doing? Yeah. Hopefully we made it through the deep freeze, at least for this week. And we can, if we can make it through Thursday and Friday, we'll ease into the weekend, reassess everything. We got a little snow, but it's all melted here. It's all, the ice is working, or the salt is working. I'm sorry, the salt is working on melting the ice there. And Brandon and I were talking about economics. Every year I follow the financial news, and this year there's going to be a recession, and there's never a recession. And the stock market goes up, and inflation goes up, and housing prices go up. And I talk with all the younger generation who can't afford to buy housing, and well, something's gonna give, All these big hedge funds are buying I almost caused a traffic accident there. I didn't mean to. I had the light there, but the car tried to make a left right when I was walking there. It's what happened. So all the perils of live streaming, but legally I still had the crosswalk, so you saw it there, the video evidence. I don't want to be a Instagram reel wreck. All I get on Instagram are car crashes and people road rage, and it's hard to watch there. But Sandra, how's it going? Kevin, how's it going? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Yeah, the Trump building, there it is. Either people get really angry if I film it, or people start like doing somersaults with exaltation. I'm not crazy about the guy, but I try to stay away from the subject because I know it just leads to, I've had people fight with each other in the comments, not even with me. They were fighting with somebody else over that guy, and I'm like, well, what about the Chicago River? What about the Michigan Avenue Bridge, the Wrigley Building? And it shows you we're entering an election year, so it's going to be dicey. It's the guy just won't go away. He just here's Wacker Drive, and people are yelling in there. I don't know what's going on. I know there's a few people camped out there. I'm interested, just for my own curiosity. I hope these people made it through the cold weather. I didn't go down here. I should. What a horrible person I am. I didn't go down here to check on them. Yeah, right there. So look at this. Wow. Here's Lower Wacker, Michigan and Wacker here. We're just doing a little check on the situation down here. There's some people walking across the bridge there. So, wow. That's hardcore. How's it going? How you doing? How you doing? How's it going? What's that? What's going?
What are you doing recording right here?
I'm in a public street. I live stream on YouTube. How's it going? What's your name, sir? How's it going?
My name?
Yeah.
What does that matter?
Yeah.
It is tense.
I walk through. I work over here. I was doing a check to make sure everybody's okay. Is everybody okay?
No.
Are you okay? Everybody okay? Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh no. I respect. I'm empathetic. Yeah. There's people over there. You're over here. I'm glad you're okay. The weather was so cold, and I was worried. And I heard people talking and yelling, and I'm just walking on the riverfront. I respect. I help out. So that's sorry. I know that. It's horrible. It's horrible. Sorry for getting sick. Oh no, I understand. I understand what you're dealing with. And we were talking about economic situation, how housing's so unaffordable, and other people writing the comments about how bad it is. And I want to show people asking. They ask about the homeless in Chicago. Yeah, on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Brian Really Chicago. You can check me out, Brian Really Chicago, so you can follow me. Make sure I'm not making fun of you. Yeah. I want. How bad did it get? How bad did it get? I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I know that there's the shelter situation's bad with the stupid buses because of the migrants and all that.
Yeah, people steal and
it's so hard. I try to explain to people how it's hard. People are like, why don't we go to shelters? People wake up. People are pissing on them, and all kinds of stuff.
That's just, what, people throw stuff, and that's why we got so defensive.
Leave at like 7, 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
you can't come back.
What's your YouTube?
Brian Really Chicago. BrianReallyChago is all one together. YouTube. I'm on TikTok too. I walk around just like all day New York City and all this. Brian Really Chicago. That's me. So check it out. I'm just gonna walk on the Riverwalk. Thanks for saying hello. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh no. I'm glad you said something because it's hard. Just hang in there. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So look at that. Did you guys see that? That those are actually some of the people that they're living through the winter there in Chicago, and it shows you how rough it gets. And this is the real city. This is as real as it gets. And I want to make sure to let them know I was a friend and not trying to run them out. I try to be an advocate. I'm a city planner. I realize this is an issue affecting the entire nation. I was just down in Austin. I was in San Antonio, warmer climates. Hey, good. Thank you. See, they're walking across the bridge right there. So, it's I as much as I can, I try to respect everybody. Everybody's got a different situation, doing the best they can, living through a Chicago winter. I try to explain to people how people ask me, you see when I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube, people are from other places of the country. They're like, why don't you ever film the homeless? I'm like, I try to respect them. You see when I go under the metro tracks over there, I go quiet because, my loud voice like there, they heard me talking. People are in those tents. This is real. This is the real city, as real as it gets. And right here underneath the golden dollars here and all this expensive corporate real estate within all those areas I walk through, the lower levels of Michigan and stuff, there's this whole other community of people that I've been in this city for 25 years. It's been here the entire time, and I fear it's getting worse. And it's the two Americas. And that's it, And so, pray. Thanks. I've been missing the comments here. There's mental health issues. There's people that choose to live that way. There's people that are forced into the situation. Everybody comes at it from a different perspective. And, I like anything, I try to respect everybody with empathy and dignity as much as we can. and they were just making sure I wasn't making fun of them. And that's not, I don't like to be made fun of too. You see why I react the way I do when people smugly make trolling comments and stuff like that. It's just being disrespectful. You know, you guys get it too. I'm listening to all the comments here. I was overwhelmed by the situation that we actually got to get some firsthand accounts of what it's like. Those guys just lived through the cold winter, well, the cold weather, -10. When I was down here filming the steam coming off the river, they were there. And this is as real as the city gets. So thanks for tuning in here. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, May. Hello, how's it going, Brandon? And no, those guys weren't afraid of confrontation. They were making sure I wasn't a cop. And I know I wear this blue Columbia jacket a lot of, when I go to different neighborhoods and stuff, people are like, take that blue jacket off, you look like a cop. I'm like, well, what about my long hippie hair? That doesn't matter. It could be a wig, you know. People don't understand, even though I'm a white guy, I fear the cops do, because I lived through the war on drugs. I know it's not the same as what, you know, minorities, women deal with, you know, cops and but I'm empathetic. I've benefited from white privilege. I know, and I have distant Native American. That doesn't count because I didn't grow up in a Native American community. I didn't grow up on the reservation, what people call it. It's a nations that still exist. My Native American ancestors assimilated because they had no choice. They had no choice, and all the other Native peoples were forced to Oklahoma, and they were left with the white people or the black people. And you know, there's many African Americans that have Native American heritage, and there's many white people that have Native American heritage in this country. It's the long history of America. And enough about that. But here's what I wanted to film here. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Riverwalk. I want to film this ice here. See, look at this ice form. It's like a little ice bridge going across there to the Marina Towers here. And it's all up here after Sunday. James, how's it going? How's it going? I saw you filming. You're still filming the nice music scene down there in Texas. That's great. Midwest Night Watchers, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. That's welcome to the lunch bunch here. Yeah, they endured -10 degrees. I mean, imagine that. And that's why I said, you know, when I was down in San Antonio, Austin, Houston, it got really cold down there too, but not as cold as here, -10. And I mean, to survive in that situation on the winter, we have nothing for respect and empathy. So thanks for talking, and thanks for letting me talk to those guys. I got to be really careful not to impede on anybody's situation there. So we'll we exchanged information. They can follow me on YouTube, and we can link up on YouTube or TikTok. And here's the look at that. Here's the Marina Towers. The ice is forming on the Chicago River here. We'll walk here down on what is this? This is the Dearborn Street Bridge here. We're past State here. Oh yeah, people from all races are suffering all over the world. That's a good way to put it. And we're all connected. We're all connected. You know, there'll be politicians and there'll be people trying to divide people according to socioeconomic class, whether they were born in America or not. I mean, we're all connected. You know, I don't care where you came from, what country you came from. We all need to help each other out, you know, and that's the hippie in me. You know, I'm an old, you know, I'm not old enough to be a true hippie. I was born after the hippie age, but that's the whole thing, you know, just try to collectively help each other out, you know. And many religions have the same thing. You don't have to be religious, you know. It's just, we'll get off of this here, but so we'll just walk along the Riverwalk here. We'll check out and see this ice forming, and you notice how the river's not steaming anymore because it cooled down enough, and the air temperature is warmed up enough to kind of meet in the middle here so it could form ice. There's the House of Blues. James, there's the House of Blues in Chicago, so that's, one of the venues. But there's real blues clubs like Kingston Mines and Buddy Guy's Legends. We went by Buddy Guy's Legends yesterday down on Balboa. And yeah, we're all connected. And Deo giving tips of what to avoid in Japan. Your son's coming home today, 5-day stay in Japan. Good, I'm glad. Well, that's great. Hope your son had a good time there in Japan. I've been to Japan 3 times. Yeah, I saw Deo Talk was over there. I'm glad he's giving people an overview of what Japan. I really like Japan. I really like Tokyo. The people are really friendly to travelers. They'll help you out. One thing you don't have to worry about in Japan is gun violence. Isn't that amazing? Hey, how's it going? That's good. Look at that, running without a shirt there. It shows you it's a heat wave here. It's great. It's we're back. You know, the hardcore Chicagoans there. That's how you acclimate to the winter there. You just embrace it. Wear shorts. Jog without a shirt. And after dealing with -10, this isn't too bad, you know. Oh, he was in the red light district. Wow. Oh, yeah, well, May. It's interesting. Yeah, of course Deo Talk would show that because, you know, he walks on the wild side. But it's a cultural thing. I'm not the best person to speak about it. I don't want to speak for any Japanese people or Japanese culture. Even though technically red light districts are illegal in Japan, they tolerate them around a lot of train stations. So every major train station, you know, Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara, all the major train stations, hubs in Tokyo, and I'm sure this is true of Osaka, other cities, you can find it if you go in the back alleys. It's pretty wide open. Now, they don't like foreigners. Japan doesn't like foreigners like Deo Talk, and I'm sure Deo Talk will complain about that they don't. It's mainly for the Japanese people, but because there's a lot of rules. It's a very formal society, and there's a lot of, even with the, you know, all the honorific ways of addressing people and bowing and all that stuff, the tea ceremony, you know, and they know Westerners, they know we're not patient enough to learn their rules, to do it the right way, you know, according to Japanese cultural society. But yeah, that's good. So, but hey, thanks for tuning in here. There'll always be people exploiting the differences between any society, men, women, religion, you know, divide and conquer. These people will do it too. I'm talking about the corporations that run our politics through money. They'll keep the lower classes fighting amongst each other so we don't fight the people at the top with the money. They'll distract us. They'll get the poor people fighting against other poor people. They'll get poor white people to fight poor black people. So they'll be distracted from fighting the rich black people and the rich white people at the top that are controlling everything. And it's mainly white people, but, you know, welcome to America. So let me get off of that. I don't want to go down that route. This is going to be a really interesting year. I'm seriously thinking about getting my press pass so I can cover these conventions. And I want to do it like Hunter S. Thompson did, like with irreverence and mockery, because we got to make fun of how absurd our political process is. Look how, okay, I don't know, I haven't checked the news, but, you know, so, you know, Trump won the Iowa caucus and he didn't even participate in any of the debates. They were going to have another debate. Nikki Haley said she's not going to, so they're not even having debates. That might be a good thing, because I think debates are useless at this point. We don't learn anything but from debates. People just yell at each other. I'm talking about political debates, you know, and so they're not even having debates, and we're just going to wing the New Hampshire primary. It's going to be interesting. We get to Super Tuesday, but we got to talk about this stuff. It's like stuff that's going on in the world. How's it going? How you doing? Yeah, see the snow. Let's just focus on the snow. You're right. We'll talk about, there's not much ice right here. So let's see what else is going on here. What else we got? We got Wells Street. There's people walking the dogs. And let's see what else is going on here. Is anyone that's in The Bear on Hulu? Yeah, we talk about The Bear all the time. It's a great show. We go by Mr. Beef. Mr. Beef is on Orleans. It's near the Green Door. And that's where they kind of modeled that off of the restaurant he runs, an Italian beef sandwich shop there. And we go by it. I need to go back over to the Green Door because I want to. The people that actually run the Green Door have reached out to me. They got a nice basement bar, the actual true speakeasy below it that's had the trap door, or it's a secret door, and you go down the basement and they got a bunch of historical relics from the Prohibition era. So hopefully in the near future I'll be heading back to the what is it called, the Green Door there next to the Mr. Beef there, and that reminds me of The Bear there. 10-10 show, that's good. You got to go beyond the Green Door. Yeah, there was a movie that came out in the 70s. I don't even want to bring that up because I know we got a mixed company here, and it was a lot of very X-rated movies came out in the 70s. But here we'll walk down the Chicago Riverwalk. What time we got here? We got 12:22 in the PM. We got 24 degrees. The sun was trying to come out, but it's not. It's hiding. I don't know where it's at here. Tara. Oh yeah, I think that'll be fun. I think people will enjoy it. We'll probably do it on TikTok, and maybe to avoid distractions, I might do a subscription-only comment section when we're down there, so I can really focus on talking with the owners and the history, and not be distracted by any hecklers. How could you not appreciate that? A true Chicago speakeasy bar, and we'll have someone say some political slogan instead of enjoying the history of America. You know, Prohibition affected everybody, you know, that was living here at that time. And thanks, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. So if you guys missed it, you know, I honestly just wanted to check to see if the guys were still living there and we actually talked with two of them. And so I exchanged information with them. They got my YouTube handle. They could be watching right now, which is great. And to get that first person makes it real, puts a human face on what people are facing here trying to survive a Chicago winter. And they were talking about, you know, people always said, well, why don't people just go to a shelter? They were explaining why. You can't, you have to get out early in the morning and you have to go back outside. You can't stay there all day, even when it's -10. You could sit there on a warming bus, but a lot of the warming buses are being used for housing migrants that have been bused to Chicago from Texas. And can you believe that some people, I've overheard conversations where people were like, I was waiting for the bus and the bus didn't come, and I know it's because they're using it to house the migrants. And I'm like, you know, there's little kids, you know. It's like, you know, I know we're all inconvenienced, you know, and that's what it is. As we head into this brave new world of climate change, the brave new future of whatever we're facing here with what's causing this mass migration throughout the world, climate change or wars or economic, people from poorer areas trying to move to richer areas, you know, it's people fighting over resources. And that's where it gets dangerous, because, you know, people will fight to maintain their resources, and it leads to wars and squabbles, and it's really hard to keep it together. So we should enjoy how good we got it right now, because it could always be worse, and that includes me. I'm not going to complain about I'll try to limit my complaints. Yeah, you got the deal a few years ago. That's good. Emmy Awards given out for Outstanding TV Pro. Thanks, Sharon. Peter, how's it going? Oh, Peter Santinello went into that bar. Oh, good. Yeah, so that's good. The green door there. That's good. We'll try to follow up on his good work there. Yeah, I got to start tackling causes and stop complaining about the effects. There you go. That's a good comment there, Chris. Here, let me get the camera straight here. Just 1 second here. There we go. Hey, what's up the way I roll? He's bound for New Orleans. Yeah. taking the city of New Orleans, taking that train. Here comes the Green Line. The Green Line's heading across the Lake Street Bridge. There's a nice city scenes of the city there. You know how much I like filming the trains here. There we got the Sears Tower, the Green Line. Welcome to Chicago. Yep, that's an Arlo Guthrie song. I know Woody Guthrie's son, Arlo Guthrie. Good Morning America, how are you? And then Willie Nelson covered it. And I think Arlo Guthrie first popularized that song. I don't know if he wrote it. You know, I've taken that train and listened to that song when I was riding the Amtrak train, the city of New Orleans, and you know, you look out and you see the little dilapidated towns wasting away there in Mississippi. You go through Memphis. You know, you go through these old towns that where the train used to stop and no longer stops anymore, and you see the old train depot rotting away there. And you know, this whole, all the Delta Blues that came up from Mississippi to Chicago, Muddy Waters rode that train up there to Chicago from Mississippi. Delta Blues, Clarksdale, connected Clarksdale to Chicago. You know, go through Yazoo City, all these historic Mississippi Delta Blues river towns, you know. And I thought that was a kayak, but it's there's like a little piling there. Very welcome Chicago, welcome to Confluence. I saw a city walking girl posted a nice video. She was on the train, probably the same Green Line, filming this from the train, and she always does a great job. Thanks for tuning in here. We're in Chicago. ZZ Top, yeah, play some ZZ Top, play LaGrange. You know, here comes the L. So there's the Green Line. There's the Metro train going through there, heading into Ogilvy. If it was that great, it'd be heading into Union, but it's on the elevated platform there, so it's heading into Ogilvy Station. There goes somebody on a scooter. Diane, how's it going? Good afternoon. She caught the Katy. Another railroad song. That's great. Yeah, whip out all these old songs. Yeah, Kevin, we're gonna... Yeah, I haven't had time to personally watch the Peter Gunn things. Chris was talking about getting the series there on Amazon. You know, I don't know much about it. I need to learn more. I just know that was the Blues Brothers revived that song. It was from I guess the opening credits to the Peter Gunn sitcom, which, you know, lasted 3 seasons, I guess, there in the beginning of the 60s. And like Chris said, if you ever be associated with the Blues Brothers movie, because they use it several times throughout the movie. And that's why it's such a perfect Chicago song, because it evokes feelings of the blues, you know, in Chicago. And 2 episodes, jazz music. See, that was the end of the jazz age there, you know. The 50s, Dizzy Gillespie and all the Thelonious Monk, you know, the 50s jazz greats. Bird, you know, and Coltrane. Listen to some Coltrane. And so here we're by the College Robin statue. We always go by this. What time we got? 12:30. So let me turn around and reverse this. Let's head back down. We'll cut through the loop here. There's not as much ice as I thought there'd be on the river. Here we're at the Confluence here. So there's the looking towards the East Bank Club, looking up the North Branch to the Confluence here. There, main branch, South Branch, Tuning Fork Building. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Look at this. And this vista did not used to be here. When I first moved to Chicago 25 years ago, none of these towers were here. Now, even 10 years ago, hardly any of these towers were here. They added all this stuff. These, a lot of these. That was there. This is new. That's new. That's 15 years old. There's the L going across the Wells Street Bridge. And beautiful city. Reinsdorf, he wants to put the Sox in the South Loop. I would be for that. I would be for, you know, it's not whatever keeps the White Sox in the city. I'll look into that. Thanks for the information, because, you know, they start playing these bluffing games where they're like, we're going to move the White Sox out of the city. Same with the Bears, you know, moving to Arlington Heights, and, you know, they said, well, if we don't get a stadium, we'll move out of the city, you know. And, you know, I'll look into that. Did they have a site? Well, I wonder what site they're going to look at. And, you know, I understand, you know, it was just unfortunate when, you know, when Comiskey had so many, old Comiskey had so many problems. It was, you know, Wrigley still, how much money was sucked into saving Wrigley Field, and Wrigley, you know, when the concrete was falling off the grandstands there. Same with Comiskey, it was just falling down, the old one, the original one. And so they needed a new stadium in 1990 when they built the one they got now. It was like the last stadium to be built before the new retro stadiums, you know, like the one in Baltimore and all the retro stadiums where they made them look like the old stadiums. And so we got this hybrid. It's new, but it's all messed up, you know. And they tried to retrofit it, and it faces the wrong way. Imagine how, you know, the old Comiskey, you had the skyline in the outfield, and they because they built it where they did, they couldn't rotate it the way they wanted to. I would even, if they just build a new stadium where the north parking lot is and orient it towards the skyline. Imagine seeing the beautiful Chicago skyline with the third iteration of Comiskey. But who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for the new stadium? Jerry Reinsdorf's not going to pay for it. He's going to get somebody else to pay for it, you know. And same with the Bears, you know, the McCaskies, you know. It's and all cities face this, you know. Look at L.A. L.A. lost both their teams, and now they got two teams back. It's just San Diego and Oakland lost theirs. Las Vegas has the Raiders. Okay, and everybody's just horse trading these NFL teams, playing one tax base off another. Roosevelt and Clark. Good. I'll look into that. Hey, that would be part of the 78, the new neighborhood. And wouldn't that be interesting to have that new neighborhood that they're building there along the South Branch in between Chinatown and the South Loop, have a new stadium there? That's interesting. Roosevelt and Clark. Thanks for the good information. We'll look at it. Yeah, Camden Yards was the first of the retro, and it came right after Sox Park. And you know, it's just a shame. It was just bad timing when they built that stadium. But here's the L heading across here. There we go. There's the pink line heading in there in front of the merchandise mart. How's that look? You tried to pin the comment. Yeah, Camden Yards is awesome. Been there a bunch of times. Thanks, Tara. Yeah. Did I miss a comment? Chris, did I miss one here? Let me go back here. Yeah, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Well, at least you know something from Chicago. I try to show the fire trucks and the police cars when, you know, just walking around here. I'm like, you know, there's the real Chicago Fire Department going down the street. It's great that you tune into those shows. A lot of people that follow my channel the same way. They watch Chicago Fire, Chicago PD from other areas of the country and world, and that's what they see of Chicago. And so, you know, that's why we walked by the police station on Blue Island. We'll go to some filming locations of movies and things so people can kind of connect stuff they saw on TV or the movie with the real city that we walk around every day. And New York has the same thing, other cities, LA. Here, we'll head back across the river here. You're an MLB fan, that's good. Yeah, what's it gonna be called? Yeah, so yeah, they keep changing the name. So yeah, you know, it was New Comiskey, then it was several names. I think it was the Cell, and then it was Guaranteed Rate. Last year it was Guaranteed Rate Field. Everybody's all confused of what to call it, you know, and once you get used to one corporate name, they sell it to somebody else, the highest bidder, and everybody's supposed to call it the corporate name, and people just call it New Comiskey, Sox Park, you know, save some time. Just like I call it Sears Tower. Yeah, nobody knows what it's called anymore. Yeah, good. Thanks, Tara. Yeah, we're friends of ours and friends of yours, friends of ours. Thanks for tuning in. Tara, we feel like you're a Chicagoan, even though you live on the East Coast there, because, well, you follow so many people. You follow all the New York live streamers, and you know what's going on. Sometimes I find out information from you you know. I think Diana was the first one that told me that Vic Cohen lost his account, and then like a minute later you sent me a screen capture that Vic Cohen's account was suspended by TikTok, and so you broke the news and confirmed it. Diana told me you and Diana probably were telling each other, you know. And here, we'll head across the street here. We'll go across for Randolph and Wacker. Here's Randolph and Wacker. There's the Sears Tower. We won't go down that way. We'll head back because I got to get back to work here. But yeah, cities are interesting. Thanks Tara, for at least realizing Chicago's a real American city. Some people call it the quintessential American city. I know New York's bigger and more glamorous. Same with LA, but Chicago's the real city, at least in the Midwest here. And we're connected to so many of the other great Midwest cities: St. Louis, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Detroit. You know, over to Kansas City and Cincinnati and Indianapolis, and I'm leaving out a bunch. Omaha. Pizza Lisa tunes in from Omaha. We're all connected here. Yeah. May, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you can watch it from across the Atlantic there. That's great. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being part of the Lunch Bunch and your good perspective. We need non-American perspectives, because, you know, as Americans, we think we're the center of the earth and that world revolves around. A lot of Americans don't even care about the rest of the world, but we need to be engaged. The world doesn't revolve around America. America's going to find that out really the hard way, like we did in World War II. And can't be isolationist, you can't be protectionist. Not in this world. The world will come back to get you. You know, here's the CNA building. The L train stopped right there. I wonder what's going on here. So here, we'll cross the street here. I'm walking in circles, but we'll get you a good view of the Sears Tower as we cross Franklin here. And we've been here many times before. But look, the L train stopped on the Wells Street tracks right there. Yeah, Roxanne, thanks for tuning in from Texas. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're not the only one, James. James is in Texas. You're in Texas, Roxanne. Thanks for tuning in. I got family that lives in Texas. There's the Sears Tower. That's a great view to the Sears Tower there, looking south on Franklin there. So, yeah, that's a really good view of the Sears Tower right there. And then I always like to show this building, because look, there's not a column on the corner. There's not a column on the corner. And look at that. Here's that column, and that column is holding up the whole weight of that. It's cantilevered, and structural engineers love to do this, just like bridges into the sky, you know. This one has it too. It doesn't have a column on the corner. And the Inland Steel building was one of the first ones to do that. That goes back to the late 50s, early 60s, so when they built the bridges into the sky. Yeah, I'm glad it warmed up. Yeah, it was 21 degrees this morning. Yeah, I'm glad you saw Brandon. I've been talking to Brandon all day, and it's now it's up to 24 degrees. You see that the sidewalk is liquid water. I don't know. I guess the salt is making it melt. There's still some snow on the tables and stuff. Thanks for tapping away there, Anne Marie. I appreciate you tapping that screen, playing the game. Yeah, we got a bunch of likes this morning, and we got a bunch of likes last night. I appreciate that. Thanks for playing the game there. I didn't realize how important it was. A nice person let me get across this street here. A nice person messaged me this morning on YouTube, or yesterday, and they were giving me recommendations how to work with the YouTube algorithm to get more views, because I'm not doing something right. There's something I'm not doing right, and so I'll look into that. Every platform's different with how their algorithm works. Here's Hotel Allegro. Yeah, thanks, and thanks, Anne Marie. Thanks, Anne Marie, for tapping that screen. I appreciate it. This is PG-13. Every once in a while, I break character and start cursing and yelling, and everybody laughs. So I start going on my angry rants about the economy or trolls or something like that. I try to. Well, you see, the exact reason I don't curse is last night. Last night I was walking home on TikTok, and you know I'm a pretty secular person. I curse. I'm not anybody. I'm like Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model. Here, look. I'm looking for the train to come by here. I hear the train coming. Is it gonna come? I hear it echoing. There it is. Look at that. There's the L train going by there. The brown line's coming into the loop. But back to what I was talking about, why I don't curse on TikTok or YouTube unless I have to or lose my character and start getting angry. I was over by the St. Michael's, Cleveland and Eugenie, and a nice young teenager approached me, and they were watching me, and they said, "Hey, we're watching you I'm watching you on TikTok right now." I said, "Hey, good." And we talked to him. He said, "Yeah, how you doing?" I said, "Thanks for finding me," because I watch you all the time. He says he went to St. Clement's School, which is a Catholic parochial school. We filmed the church there. And I said, "Hey, thanks for looking me up." He said, he's like, "Yeah, Mom's making spaghetti for dinner." And I said, "Hey, have a good night." And then later in that same broadcast last night, his father, or the child's father, in the comments said, "Yeah, I already met you. I met you at the Tesla store there." And I did. I remember the guy. He came out. We were seeing the Tesla Cybertruck, and I interviewed him briefly. I was like, "What did you think about the Cybertruck?" And that was his kid. And so that's why I don't curse, because there are kids that watch this platform. I know kids curse, adults curse. There's so much cursing in the world anyway. Every other word doesn't need to be the F word, the C word, the S word. And, people think they got to talk that way to sound tough. You don't need to talk that way to sound tough. It actually takes more self-control not to say it. And believe me, talk to people I work with, I cuss all the time. I just don't want it to be recorded. My relatives might be watching. They'll be like, "You potty mouth." But that's why I run a PG-13. We do talk about some sensitive, hard to deal with issues. It just naturally comes up with anytime you're in the big bad city here. He's a live streamer too. That's good. Dutchman cuss a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, WTF. You're right. You're exactly right. You just you have to. It's just part of. We see Dan. All day New York City. Sometimes he has to yell at traffic. They try to run him off the road, and he'll be in the bike path, and they'll be trying to run him off the road there in the car, and he's like, "WTF? Cut me some slack here." Look at this building. I don't film this building too much. Let me get the name of this building. I should know the name of this building. Here, we're at Clark and Randolph here. We're waiting for the light to change here. There we go. There's a Brinks truck with the Cook County Sheriff. Maybe I shouldn't go over there. Here, we'll just see what it says. It's right here on the column here. I want to Fifth Third Bank's in the corner, but that's just the corner of the storefront here. Travelers. Oh, travel. He was rude. Oh, sorry to hear that, Cole. Yeah, see, I know. I hope I have to run that fine line too. Sometimes it's so easy to misinterpret comments, and sometimes people. I talked to Kevin about this. If you don't understand, if you intend it with sarcasm or humor, sometimes a humorous or sarcastic statement, I do the same thing myself, could be misinterpreted, taken the wrong way. And I've mistakenly jumped all over people when they just had a question or didn't. They were trying to come at it from a different perspective, and I misinterpreted it and thought that they were making fun of me, being a troll. My moderators deal with the same thing. People accidentally get muted when they were trying to mute somebody else, and then they find me in the how dare your moderators mute me? I'm canceling my account, and I'm like, I'm sorry, accidents happen. You were only muted for one thing, And it's TikTok. You know, you think TikTok canceled you? They don't apologize if they mistakenly cancel your account. Look what happened to Vic Cohen. What if that was a mistake? He had 70,000 followers. That has economic value, and they just deleted it. Delete all your content. If you don't back it up, it's gone. That's why we're on YouTube, because you have to. You can't trust anything. You can be taken away. They don't have to give you any reason. They don't even have to tell you why. They said you just broke our terms and conditions. Well, which one did I break? You should know. I don't know which one I broke. You got so many. You know, you make new ones up every day. You know. But hey, thanks for tuning in. How's everybody doing here? Near the bean. Did you say you walking girls need a bean? Yeah, eventually we're gonna bump paths. You know, I'm glad that's good. I'm glad she's streaming on TikTok. That's great. It's nice. Follow City Walking Girl. You can watch her right now. That's great. And I'm glad she's filming it, so I don't have to film it. That's great. That's exactly we can multitask. That's exactly it. Here we're going up the. What is this here? This is Randolph. We're going through the theater district. We go through here all the time. We go underneath the Nederlander Theater. I know you've seen this 100 million times, but at least we're seeing scenes of the city in real time. It's like you can virtually tune in on Chicago and see what's happening at lunchtime. I smell the Garrett's popcorn. I wish you could smell the Garrett's popcorn because it smells heavenly. And there's the Nederlander Theater marquee. Block 37. See, we were there yesterday in the morning. We were on the Pedway. I still got some more Pedway footage to cut out. And people seem to like the Pedway videos. Some people call them the back rooms. Oh, there's a whole subculture on TikTok where they explore the back rooms, like secret passages and tunnels and stuff like that. And I'm sure the Pedway looks pretty creepy when no one's in there, and it looks like the back rooms of Chicago. Garrett's popcorn. You had it shipped to Arizona. That's great. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So the Greyhound station, I just saw that comment. Thanks, the way I roll. The Greyhound station is at Harrison and by the Dan Ryan. So it's in the South Loop, kind of near the river. I rode a bike by it once. There's the video where I go to Maxwell Street. I rode this was back in like the fall. I rode a divvy bike past the old post office, and we went by the bus station. I pointed it out. I was riding a bike. There's a bike path there. And so if you could find the Maxwell Street video on YouTube, you have to go back to like October. And I've taken a bus out of there. It's been years ago. I've actually taken Greyhound, and I've gone to that bus station. And I know there's talk of moving it, getting rid of it. Some people don't like it there. They don't think it belongs there. Come on, you know, the bus station used to be where the Thompson Center. If you go look at the old Blues Brothers movie, they have one scene in the movie where they go right down this area. They go right down Randolph. It looked completely different. It looked like Fifth Avenue. It looked totally different because it was different. There was a bus station there. It was a lot seedier. State Street was a lot seedier. The whole city was a lot seedier in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, and lifelong Chicagoans can attest to that too. You don't take my word for it. Yeah, it was on Randolph. That's what we're talking about. The bus station, you see where the Nederlander Theater is? We crossed the Thompson Center where that crazy sculpture is across from City Hall. The bus station was pretty much north of City Hall. And they moved it. They moved it to build the Thompson Center, Hellman Jan. And that's when they probably built the one down where it's at now. They moved it to the South Loop. They moved it out of the downtown because people didn't like it in the downtown because people would be sleeping on the benches. Vagrants would be there. The restrooms were shady. You know, a lot of weird stuff went on there. And it's just the nature of bus stations in big cities. Just like Deo Talk has filmed the bus terminal in Manhattan, and he went up and shoved the camera in people's faces. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's Deo Talk. Yeah, it was seedier. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. There's a Gibson's at the Oakbrook Mall. That's great. Hey, you got Gibson's is capitalizing on their brand. That's good. A nice steakhouse there at Oakbrook. Is Mike Dicka's still out there? Is Mike Dicka's restaurant? Because the one in Chicago's gone. And the people, I haven't been out. I don't get out to Oak Brook Mall that much. I hear there's a Mike Dick is still out there, restaurant. But I take my own advice. I should just look it up on the internet. I'll go back to work. I'll look it up on the internet. Here comes the L. We'll see the L around in the corner here on Wabash. Look at that scene with the Pittsfield building. People running across the street here. Oh, scenes of the city. Green Line train. Look at it go. Look at it go around the bend here. Don't you love this old transit? Just like a roller coaster ride. Yeah, Dickus was on Ontario, or I think it was a few streets up. It might have moved. It was in that area. Yeah, it was in the near north. It was west of Michigan Avenue, and I think it was north of Ontario. But it was one of those east-west streets. Yeah, and you could smoke cigars there, and there's still the Mike Dick honorary street there, and that's why I thought it was on that street where he has his name. You know, they have the honorary streets. We saw the Frank Sinatra honorary street, which is right in front of Gibson's there at Bellevue and Rush. There's that guy. There's Harold Washington. There's that guy. Wabash and Lake. There, we'll cross the, there's Elephant Castle. Virgin Hotels. Hopefully they'll put the big Lips couch back out. That'd be nice. So here we'll head across Wabash, Trump Building, and we'll head back to Michigan here. Hey, look at Wabash, it's looking nice. Hey, go White Sox. How's it going, Bobby Douglas? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we were talking about them wanting to move the stadium to Clark and Roosevelt. That would be really interesting. And whatever it takes to keep them in the city. You know, I know I complain about the Bears wanting to move to Arlington Heights. I just want them to be in the city. You know, did anybody hear any of that talk? People were like, well, if the Bears don't move to Arlington Heights, maybe the White Sox will move their stadium to Arlington Heights. Would the White Sox, die-hard fans, would they travel to Arlington Heights, the northwestern suburbs, to go to a White Sox game? You know, it needs to be on the south side. You know, the White Sox belong on the south side of Chicago. That's historically, you know, I know they started on the west side, just like the Cubs started on the west side. Both of them played in West Side Park back in the 1907 and 8, 1905, 6, and 7 Worlds, 1906, 1907, 1908 World Series. You know, and they like traded World Series. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Ed DeBevics. Across from Ed DeBevics. Oh, that's where Mike Dick was. Okay. See, Ed DeBevics moved. Ed DeBevics used to be there on LaSalle, and it moved over. Yeah, it moved on Ontario. I think Ed DeBevics is on Ontario, so you might be right there. We'll look into that. My brain leaks. But here we'll wait for the light to change here. We're back at Michigan, and so here we'll cross the street here. We'll check out the American Writers Museum. We'll give a little plug to the American Writers Museum here. Michigan and Lake. So sometime I'll go in the American Writers Museum. I don't know how good it'll look on TikTok or YouTube, because mainly it's they got a bunch of kiosks where you can listen and read books, and they got digital screens where you can pull up the words and the writings of American writers. And here it is, your place to connect. American Writers Museum, right here in this building, 180 North Michigan. You go to the American Writers Museum, and there's all these great little commercial museums right here in the along Michigan Avenue and in the Loop, just like the Museum of Illusions. We went to the Museum of Illusions. I don't know if that's worth $28, but you know, if you're really bored, it's something to do. Good afternoon, Anthony. How you doing? Kevin, how you doing? Yeah, in the 78. That's it. We that new neighborhood down there between Chinatown and the South Loop. That's interesting. That excites me. I'll look into that. Thanks for the good information. See, even I did not know that. I'm learning good information so I can research it. So when people ask me, when I'm walking home tonight, I'll be like, yeah, I looked into it, and yeah, I saw that news story. So thanks for helping me out with the good information, the lunch bunch here. I appreciate it. And that's what it is. There's too much stuff in the world for one person to know. Nobody can know it all. Nobody, it's impossible. So we'll wrap this up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go back to work. So we'll be on TikTok tonight, and we'll keep the show on the road. Follow City Walking Girl. I hear she's walking around Millennium Park. She's probably just like...
Walker guy?
Hey, I'm Brian. Brian Really Chicago. How's it going? How you doing, man? What's your name?
Shane.
Shane. I'm on YouTube at lunch, but I'm on TikTok tonight. Good, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day. That's nice. Shane, that's good. So, hey, we're making new friends. Have a good day. My mustache is all snotty. You're probably laughing because my mustache is full of snot. Have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Thanks to the lunch bunch. Good afternoon, Kevin Anthony. BBQ with Neil. How you doing? Bobby Douglas. Go White Sox. Crystal Blue Funk. Yeah. I'm that Walker guy. Yeah. As long as you don't call me late for dinner, that's good. The way I roll. Good. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, everybody. Crystal Blue Funk, thanks for being on. We'll talk to you later. And Michael Anderson, everybody else there. Chris, thanks for being on. Sharon, thanks for being on. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, be creative. See ya.